Welcome back, everyone. We are picking up right where we left off in the last video, working in this area. I'm pretty excited. We're going to be working right down here. We have to put in a retaining wall, some more land and rocks, and we'll put grass. We'll fully scenic this little corner here. All right, we have a lot to do, so let's get to it. So this is the area right here that we're going to be working in. The first thing we need to do is remove this tree. And I have an entire video on how to make fall trees. I'll put a link at the end of this video for that video. Okay, now we're going to put in a retaining wall. Now, I've already made a retaining wall and I showed how to make it on my Patreon page. You know, maybe we should first remove this. Okay, so the retaining wall is here and along here, and it comes out. Okay, let's get this glued in place. We're going to be using liquid nails on the styrofoam and super glue on the wood. Now, for those that don't know, I can't use super glue up here because it just eats into the styrofoam and it won't hold it. Okay, we'll hold it here for a second and let that glue set up. Make sure it's exactly where I want it. Okay, now we're going to put some rocks in here, and I'm using rocks that I saved from my last layout, and I used the same rocks underneath my bridge over there, over in that direction, and on the other side of the layout. Okay, now I'll take some of our extra and take a brush and blend this all together. Okay, now we just have to wait for all this to dry, and we'll probably give it 24 hours. Okay, well, as you can see, it is all painted. I apologize for not showing how I painted it, but I do have some other videos showing rock that I've painted. Like all of the rock in here. I have a full video showing how I did that. And all of the rock under here. Okay, now let's go ahead and put grass in here. And then we'll add bushes and weeds. Okay, first we're going to spray it with some alcohol. Now we're just taking a wet brush and smearing the glue around. Okay, now we're taking some fine turf, burnt grass. Now we'll add some static grass. Now for the fun part of adding weeds. And I have right now I have 3 different types of weeds that I'm adding. Now it is still wet, but I still like to add some glue just to make sure that it's permanent. I'm using some brown or a light tan right along the road here. Okay, I think this is looking pretty good. I've added some bushes, weeds. I even put in a big broken branch because there's a tree, a really big tree that goes here. But now what we need to do is spray this with alcohol and then take diluted white glue and put it here and there and sprinkle our leaves. I want lots of leaves over here because that tree is really big that goes here. Okay, everything is completely dry. You know, this area right here has really been bothering me, and I need to fix that. I need to do another concrete step right there to fill in that gap. Maybe 2 steps, I don't know. But we'll fix that up. It's never ending. There's always things to do. We'll be adding more junk down in here. Some old tires, barrels, just trash before we pour our water. And of course I need to do barnacles at the bottom of these. So many things, so many things. I was so excited about how this turned out that I decided to do another section on the layout. Okay, well, here it is, all finished. Now, eventually I'll get a little bit of water running out of that, and then I'll pour some water on here. But it's a start. You may have noticed I also got this road put in. So that road connects, it will connect right there. And it goes up and through there. It's really exciting getting some scenery work done. It really just brings the layout to life and really starts to tie everything together. For me, what takes the longest is all of the structure building. And I have so many structures that are finished, and it's great now just to be able to go back and do scenery to finish the scene. And it goes pretty quick, especially compared to structure building. The one thing that I have to keep in mind when I'm doing scenery is to be patient. A lot of times things need to dry. Sometimes dry overnight before you can move on to the next step, because I think what really makes it successful is lots of layers, but you need to make sure that one layer is dry first completely before you add the next layer. Another thing that really helps is texture. So grass, rocks, bushes, leaves, wood fences, wood retaining walls, concrete retaining walls, wrought iron. You don't want everything to look identical on the entire layout. So if you have a bunch of wood fences in one area, switch to wrought iron or a different type of wood fence, or natural wood, and then have some that are completely painted. But you want a variety. I think another good point is you want to be sure that everything is to scale. You don't want bushes that are too big, weeds that are too big. And trust me, it is very easy to just start putting bushes and weeds on, and before you know it, I mean, it looks like a jungle. So you really have to have self-control and make sure that you're trimming. Say with bushes, a lot of times, some of the big bushes that I get, I cut it into thirds. So I get 3 bushes out of 1. So again, very important that you keep scale in mind, especially if you have figures and vehicles near scenery. All right, well, thank you all so much for watching. Truly appreciate it. And a huge, huge thank you to all of my Patreon members. And again, Patreon members get to see behind the scene photos while I'm actually building stuff and working on the layout. So consider becoming a Patreon member. And I'll put the address right here on the screen for you. All right, well, until next time, stay motivated and happy modeling, everyone.